Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a mid-month for February Tarot Oracle reading, and Sagittarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Sagittarius, we still all have a little bit of Sagittarius in us. If you have your birth chart, which houses Sagittarius in, that is where this energy will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Keep in mind, this is a general or collective reading, meaning parts of it may or may not resonate. Just take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading. So if you're watching this right now, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on back then in your life? That will give you more clarity regarding your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. Oh no, we have the never-ending nightmare. This card has been coming in a lot in my readings. On February 2nd, we had Groundhog Day. And this energy, I posted about this actually, if you want to check it out. But basically, this card usually represents a never-ending nightmare. This person's waking up in the middle of the night. And this is the underlying energy for this reading. So yay, Sagittarius. Or it can represent, waking up between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m. and having enlightenment from source energy, from God and the universe, telling you how to ease out of a situation that's bothering you. So enlightenment in the wee hours of the morning. And this blanket on the bed, this quilt has cosmic symbols on it. So it means, the universe does have your back. Because of the groundhog energy, this card's been coming in a lot because this can also represent like a real stifling, suffocating boredom. And so this kind of energy has been showing up in the cards. It's that time of year where it's almost spring, but not quite. And you have the odd nice day, and then you have like normal, more cooler winter days. We're having beautiful weather where I am, but we're very blessed here. But the energy is basically saying that, Groundhog's Day is when you're doing the same old shift day after day after day and nothing changes. It's just a repetitive circle. But really, that goes back to, in school, a lot of us were taught that the sun's in the middle and then the planets go around it in perfect order like this, And actually, it's more like this. Because the whole universe is moving constantly, and we're never, ever in the same place that we ever were in before. We might be doing the same routine, but not in exactly the same place. It's always changing. That's the one constant we can count on, is change. So there's a lot packed into that one card, but it was really interesting because it was coming up in almost every reading, and it still is a little bit. I didn't even watch to see what happened on Groundhog Day, but it's just interesting. Then we have the Chariot. So this could be enlightenment or a never-ending nightmare, but in any case, this is representing, it's a 9, the 9 of Swords. So it's representing coming to an end. And the Chariot is representing moving forward. So I feel like whatever cycle you're in, Sagittarius, it's changing. It may not be changing as fast as you want, but it is moving forward. That's what this card represents. It represents being on your destiny. And the Chariot, there's no reins on it because it's driven by the universe, basically. It's just like a tank, dunk, 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 coming in, and you're on your destined path. And so you're unstoppable when you're on God's path. If the timing is right, the timing is right. And so let's keep going here. This card is representing the internal forces. So the internal forces are the what ifs, like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're saying, what if I do this and they do that? What if I don't do that? And what if they do this? That kind of energy. And you could get caught up. The swords represent thinking, thoughts, your mental intelligence, and your mind, right? And so if your mind is like in a trap, like where it's just like constantly having the same thought over and over again, And the internal forces. So this is the Seven of Wands is coming in. And the Seven of Wands is saying that you have conviction beyond a doubt about something, that you know what you know, and you absolutely are absolutely 100% sure of it. And you're standing on higher ground here. And so this is talking about, these wands here all represent action, the element of fire. And it's talking about if you have to fight to protect what is yours, you will do so. And he has a boot on one foot and a shoe on the other. And quite often this can mean like you're in between two different energies, two different worlds. This card has been coming up a lot also because of the new year. You know, we moved from 2025, which is 2 + 2 + 5 is 9. And so that was a 9 cycle. And that was actually the end of a decade of energy, basically. And then in the moving into 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 is 10. That's a 10 year and breaks down to 1. So we didn't just leave one year and move into the other. We actually moved from one decade of energy into a totally different energy, an ending and a beginning. And a lot of people know, you may have noticed it like that. A lot of times when there's a new year, you don't even really notice. But this was, you could feel a difference between the 2 years. And a lot of that energy has been around. There's a lot of astrological influences that are really, really playing on us right now. Plus we had the files come out and it's just been 2 weeks now, I think, almost of that. And it's, it gets really challenging to take. So there's a lot of information that came out that was really, disgusting and upsetting. And so a lot of people are kind of feeling that energy. It's really heavy, actually. We have the energy of, this new beginning energy coming in. I just wanted to mention this too, because it's coming up for Sagittarius, is that because we're moving on the 17th of February, we're moving into the Chinese New Year. On that day, there's also a new moon, and that new moon is in Aquarius energy. And we also have an eclipse on that day, if you can imagine. So it's a lot of energy, and we're moving from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse. So that's also a very, a different energy. And the fiery horse energy is very Sagittarius energy, very similar. It's talking about being very free-spirited, setting high achievements, knowledge for, just enjoying knowledge for the sake of it kind of energy, looking for adventure in love, in the matters of love. It can be very passionate and heartfelt. And then also the thing that we have to watch in this energy, especially the fire signs, and you in particular, Sagittarius, because you already have the fire horse energy. And it's, being really impulsive and making impulsive moves, letting your temper get away from you, or your emotions overcome you. And also it's talking about not setting goals that are so high that there's no way that you could achieve them in the time, unless a miracle happens, which could happen. But it can really lead to burnout and really feeling just exhausted. And so this card is coming in. And this card has also been coming in a lot, actually, because we're all in this energy of this Chinese New Year is coming up. We just had the New Year. Spring is almost here, that kind of energy. So there's a lot of elements here. And we have this person is standing at the top of their castle on their turret, and they're overlooking their domain, and they've got this ball in their hand, and that globe represents the world, and saying, I have the world in my hands up here, and I have conquered. That kind of energy. Having said that, he's thinking, he feels like a big fish in a little pond now. And he knows that if he went to a much larger place, you know, a larger city and did his work and whatever, that he would feel more like a small fish in a big pond. But he's contemplating making that change. And quite often I feel like this wand is just representing, you know, he's done everything like he can here. There's only so many people here. You know, he might be a hero in his own town, but now he wants to franchise possibly. I always, this card for me represents kind of entrepreneur energy of wanting to franchise and have maybe set up a business that you've been successful with in one place and set it up like, you know, across the city, you know, or, you know, in a new city, or possibly even, you know, in a new country, that kind of energy. And that's like really typical of Sagittarius energy. And then we have, yeah, there's a lot of opportunities being opened up for you right now. I do feel that because this is the destined path, well, there's a couple, this reading could go one way or the other, but I just want to get into it a little bit more, and then I will explain. So this is the Seven of Cups, represents 7 gifts being given to you of opportunities. And you're like a black hole, just going to suck these opportunities in. And so this is saying like each of these cups has a different gift in it, and it's up to you. Which one do you want to choose first? And they're not like a gift like, oh, okay, it's just yours and it's going to be, you know, here it is. It's more like these are opportunities being presented to you. And some of them could be wrapped up like looking like challenges. So be aware of that. Because sometimes if something's very challenging, it has a lot of possibility. And then, okay, so this is the energy you don't want to be in. This guy's been coming in a lot also. So this now, like now I feel like I have to say it, you know, this card can represent someone like, as you know, that a never-ending nightmare, something that's really weighing heavy on the mind. And I told this is destiny, but this can also represent law and order coming in. The police have the black and white vehicles. And also in the old days, they would have, the people in jail would have uniforms with horizontal stripes. And anytime you have horizontal stripes, it breaks up the energy. And besides making you look short and wide, it also causes you to break up your energy. And so it actually, when people look at you, it weakens your energy. So just being aware of that, that's why they would put them in those. And vertical stripes, like on a pinstripe suit. You don't see too many pinstripe suits these days, but in the old days, you know, a lot of the gangsters even would wear them. And it's because they are all about power. And as soon as you think about a vertical stripe, it makes you want to stand up taller and, you know, stand up straight kind of energy. So it's about power. And even in my oracle, which I'm going to use to clarify this, when the cards are vertical in my oracle, they're the masters, and the cards are the medicine or the problem kind of energy. Energetically speaking, horizontal energy is actually weakening, and vertical energy is strengthening. Just, you know, if a little bit of information there. So this could be about law and order coming in regarding something, and this can be conviction beyond a doubt, as in conviction beyond a doubt because you're going to prison, kind of that kind of energy. So I hope that's not what this is about. But whatever's bothering you, if you know, you're worried about some external forces coming in here, let's see what happens, because now we have, it's almost like this person's running away from the law. You know, get away from that kind of energy when you put it in that context, and running to these opportunities. So it depends on your situation. Again, we have a horse here, so that's why I wanted to bring up this horse energy. This is this card is you know, the knights would deliver messages for the king and queen, so that's what they represent in the tarot, that there's some form of communication coming in. And this is representing, again, the swords represent your mind, your intellect, you know, that energy I spoke of here, your words, how you use them, you know. So this is communication coming in. The thing is about this card is, look how stressed out his horse is. You know, and this sometimes represents like if you've ever ridden a horse and they get the bit in their mouth and they run, they get spooked and they run, you have to just hang on. That's all you can do. I feel like he's pushing this horse too hard, but and you can see they're running through barren land and the wind is blowing against them, but he's in a real hurry. And so sometimes, and the thing about this card is you can only see half his sword, and it's almost like half a thought to me. So he has half the information and there's no point, like get to the point kind of energy. And I feel like he's rushing in with information that is like only half, you know, half there kind of energy. And also it's that it could be that impulsive energy of running where the horse gets away from you and you're just running, you know, and that kind of energy is the energy you don't want to be in impulsive energy for around the year of the horse. And the year of the horse is lasting like all of 2026. So it's really the people that are able to rein their emotions in are going to have a much better year than people who are not able to. And then we have the Ace of Cups coming in. So the Ace of Cups is a gift, a divine gift from God in the universe of a cup of love. And so maybe that's what's missing in this person's life. And they're like, oh, maybe I'll move to a bigger city and meet more people and find love, that kind of energy, and start a business while I'm out there or in this new place. We have, this is representing like never-ending love. Like it's the water, it's like a fountain. It's just constantly pouring. And we have a dove here representing a peaceful relationship. And then we have, oh my goodness, we have the Ten of Swords. This energy is so erratic here in this reading. Talking about the, you know, because, okay, so the Ten of Swords basically speaks for itself. You know, you've been stabbed in the back 10 times and left for dead, unalived, you know, and this is representing, you know, there's more dark here than light, but it's representing the energy of, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. This is the 10 card. And so this card and this card have been coming up together quite a bit. And it's like, this is the end of this cycle here. And this is representing that ending and the rebirth. This person does have their hand in the right hand in the form of a blessing, which is what the Hierophant has also in the deck. And the Hierophant represents law and order and justice coming in. And the Hierophant has his right hand in the same symbol of blessing here. So this is like, this isn't like a little bit of energy has been put into this. There's like been at least 10 swords, like, you know, to take you down kind of energy. And then there's been, this can represent 10 different people. It can represent 10 groups of people even. This is a lot of energy trying to stop you from doing or getting to where you want to go or leaving or whatever this is. And so we're going to look into this here. We have, this is your how you're identifying with yourself right now. You know what you know. You have conviction beyond a doubt. Hopefully you're not in a position where you might be having to go to court for something. I feel like if this is because this is the position you're in, this is representing your health, your daily routine, and your habits. And so it's talking about, you know, like, well, look at, like, your life has changed drastically because of this energy here. And so this card coming in, it feels like maybe the people the external forces that are responsible for you being in this energy are going to be convicted beyond a doubt, and law and order is coming in. And you had that enlightenment in the middle of the night. You know, that's the kind of energy it could be. And because we also have this cup of love coming in. And, you know, let's keep going here. We have abundance and self-worth here. So this is talking like you're a successful person. And you just want to be more successful is the energy. And then we have, and it's that energy of feeling like it's time to move to expand your energy. Like you don't want to stay where you're staying. And well, if this is the energy you're in from where you're at, then that makes sense. And then we have the communication from your early life. It just is saying that you've always been, seen the good side of life, seen the opportunities and the challenges, and that's your true nature. That's typical of like happy-go-lucky Sagittarius energy. And then we have, this is about your emotional foundation. So this can talk about like, you might, it's almost like this energy is almost talking about someone who has a hyperactive, always on the go, like run, 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 that kind of energy. And so you might, growing up, you may have been someone that was diagnosed with ADHD or something like that. Because I'm just feeling like this too much energy, like, and you need to run it off kind of energy. And then we have, this is your position for your creativity, romance, and children. So I feel like if you don't have a partner, maybe you're at that stage in life where you're feeling like, okay, like I'm pretty established now. And now I know that I want to get married and have children. I really would like to do that, and have all those possibilities from that energy. And it's, so this communication coming in, it might just be feeling like you're in a rush. Maybe you have met someone, and that's what this card is representing. I don't feel like you're necessarily in a relationship. You could be that you're, we'll see what this is about. Let's keep going here. We're going to look at the external forces. So the internal forces, the important thing is to remember with the internal forces that you have the ability to respond or react to the external forces. So you have control over the internal forces. The external forces are more the actions of other people and how they affect you. And also, and you can't control what other people do and say, but you can control whether you react or respond and how you do so. And also, like it can be about the economy, all sorts of things. So, and look at here, you are representing yourself. And this is in the external forces. So this is kind of this is interesting energy. This is like a two-sided reading almost. So this is talking about, it's saying again, this fire horse, like look at the difference between this horse and this horse. They're both like, they both are very high-spirited, but this one is being reined in and it's rearing up, but it's not, racing away kind of energy. And so this represents the rebel with the cause. And so maybe this energy is talking about the external forces don't like the fact that you're passionate and doing all this, like that you're on the go like you are kind of energy. Maybe you've exceeded the expectations of everybody around you. Quite often children that have are diagnosed with ADHD and things like that have a tendency to not do as well and mark-wise in school, but that they have like a real different way, like dyslexia and that of seeing things differently. So sometimes those are the ones that become the most successful because they think outside of the box. And so this is a rebel with a cause. And this is someone, I feel like this is talking about this energy here, how you've dealt with it. Like it's like you've been no, I'm not giving in to what you want from me. And I don't know, we'll look into that some more. You would know, like have an idea of that, but it's that kind of energy for me where it's like, I'm going to stand up for myself here. This is representing, his wand is representing passion. And this is talking about someone that is willing to, like, he's a knight. He's going to protect himself and his home and his property. And there might be something that you're doing in where you live where the people are just not liking it. It's just feeling that kind of energy. Could be just jealousy or whatever. But this is really interesting because it's like, here we have the 10 of Cups here. And this is in the external forces. So it's kind of like, I just am getting this feeling like this is ultimate fulfillment. And like that's when you have the marriage and you have like the children and you have like the home, and you know there's a certain way you do things. It's like very traditional. And your ultimate happiness, I feel, your idea of ultimate happiness is very different from the norm, is what I'm getting. You're kind of like a rebel with a cause. That's the energy. You're in true Sagittarius energy. You really have to watch your temper and stuff in this coming year, because, and not only that, burning yourself out. So this can sometimes just represent someone who's burnt themselves out too. This can represent having running thoughts or whatever, and that's not uncommon with this energy. So we'll see here, but we do have the Empress coming in. So the Empress energy is definitely someone you would want to marry. And it's also talking about someone like the Empress is all four queens rolled into one person. So she's really, you know, really highly desirable to marry. Like she's someone that you can count on. She's growing this weed at her feet, and she just waves her wand. Like she plants the seeds, and then she just, anticipates a good crop coming in. And usually the universe will supply her with what she anticipates she's going to have. She's like a magnet for, blessings coming in. And this is because she knows how to use her logic and her intuition together. She's very loving, a natural beauty. She's learned discernment like the Queen of Swords. She's good with money. She's able to, someone you can, count on to run a household. She's loving with her children, that kind of energy. And she's also pregnant with possibility. And sometimes this card can even represent someone who's pregnant. So maybe you've got someone pregnant and you're being run out of town. I don't know here. I don't know. We'll see here. It's interesting. Because it feels like, because the Knight of Wands is very passionate about someone. And so you could be the Empress, actually. We don't have anyone really, but you could be in that. I don't feel that's you more. I feel like you're more in this energy here, the Sagittarius, like just in, and this could be male or female. The energy of the Knights is not gender specific. In the old days, they were all male. But now this could be a female in her masculine energy. And also the communication that is coming in, it's passionate. And so, maybe there's someone in town that's pregnant. I don't know. That's the energy I'm picking up a little bit. And look we have the Queen of Cups there. So the Queen of Cups is very much like this energy here, except the Queen of Cups is more traditional. She has a cup of love. She's got a lid on it. This is saying that she's a container for unconditional love. She loves her family, and that she's the most traditional of all the queens. So it's kind of interesting. Like the Empress is more on the wild side than this energy, but she still has a lot of the same qualities. So I feel like there's something about a woman is involved. Like there's something about having passion for a woman here. And maybe this is someone that you want to marry. And that's the external force. So that could be the reason why you're wanting to leave. And maybe this could be someone that's already married, or someone that is in a relationship with someone else, but you are maybe there's something happening here with this passion. I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of different versions coming in with this reading. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. So that's two gifts from the divine. The divine doesn't usually bring in a lot of gifts for someone who's, breaking one of the 10 commandments, which is adultery. So I feel like this could be someone that is highly desirable in the town. That's what I'm getting. Or this is someone that lives in another city or whatever, and that's why you're wanting to move away to be able to pursue this energy here. definitely very, very interested in it and passionate. And this card right here is the position of commitment, marriage, and I feel like you've met someone who you feel is someone you want to marry. Like it's someone that it's saying she's the Empress, like she could run a business with you, as well as she's less traditional that way. And she's also at the same time, she is all about unconditional love. Both of these represent someone that you would, that would be good for someone who you want to settle down with and marry. That's what I feel is happening, is that I feel like you've accomplished what you want to accomplish where you're at. You're moving on to your divine path, and you met someone that possibly lives in another area or whatever. And so I don't know what the sabotage is yet here. So we'll just keep going here. This could be you just, as I said, running yourself ragged, trying to get too much done. And also that representing thoughts, that are negative. Like, oh, maybe this woman will never, And keep in mind also that the Empress and the Queen can be male in their feminine energy as well. So this is talking about the reward for staying on your divine path. I don't think there's any, I don't think that you're pursuing someone that's already married to someone else, because the divine wouldn't be like all up for that kind of, you wouldn't be getting all this energy coming in. Unless somebody else went after your wife and that's why you want to leave. Now that could be an energy, So we'll see. The Ace of Pentacles is a reward for staying on your divine path. This is representing your North Star. Your North Star is your guiding light to stay on your path, basically. And we have Justice coming in. So yeah, there's something, something. She's holding the sword of justice and ready to wield it. Notice her right foot is peeking out from underneath her robe here, so she's ready. Just let me at it. And then this is the veil in the background represents the veil between the spiritual realm and the physical. You're using your intuitive energy as well as your logic. So it's that kind of energy. But this also talks about redemption from karma. And so let's see, we have also now the Queen of Wands here. Wow. So with the Queen of Wands represents an energy of a natural beauty who is sitting on her throne, and she's got a sunflower here that is representing someone who it's following the sun, and the sun represents God. So this is someone that uses her logic as well as her intuition to have creative solutions, a real sunny disposition. That's what the veil represents, is the intuitive abilities. She's very able to come up with creative solutions, has that kind of energy. She's considered to be very sexy and a natural beauty and that kind of energy. So we could be talking about qualities of, or maybe this is representing your energy is like you just want to go out there and date a bunch of women. Because we have quite a few now. We have quite a few now. Could be that, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're in that position. And maybe that's what it's saying, that there's a lot of possibilities for you, and you just want to play the field for a while and date, which is a really good idea if you're in that energy. And that's kind of saggy. That's the kind of energy a little bit. So yeah, I feel like, with all the thing is, these queens can represent energies of that the Empress is in, because she's all four queens rolled into one. But it's also talking about, I feel like with this energy, it's talking about, wanting a change here. And, what are the opportunities? These are cups of love too. They can be. So this could be saying that, you know, you want to date, you know, and that's what you want to do now. And you want to date enough women to see who you want to be with. That could be. Because these are all representing kind of different energies. We'll clarify this with my oracle. I'm curious to see how this turns out. There's so many, there's a lot of energy coming in. I've had, for some reason, well, maybe because I'm a Sag myself, but I've had a lot of, when I post Sagittarius, I usually get more people than in some of the other signs. And that energy, so there's more, like I find the Sagittarius, there's about, you know, it's about half and half, but Sagittarius is one of them where there's a lot more energy in the cards. A lot, the more people in, you know, the more energy there is. So we're going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS, and this is, I also have a website, talesfromthevector.com. And I started working on this in 2007, and in 2020 I finished the 64th painting, yay. And I've had them out and about at psychic fairs and at my seminars in the past when I taught seminars. But now I am like ready, the paintings are done, but I'm working on the information that goes with it. And I have a lot of information already, but I want to play with the cards because it's way different when you start playing with them. So I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I will put the description box below the card, the numbers that are on these cards, and they represent the numbers of the paintings in my gallery if you want to check it out. It'll be in the description box below. So we're going to clarify and see. This is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. My cat's nervous because she's purring, but she wakes up when these cards come out. She can feel like they go flying out sometimes. Okay, and now look at this. It's kind of like, this is saying the Emperor. And so this is a performance. So this is, I feel like this is like your energy is wanting, I feel like this is more for you, leaning on the side of this was some enlightenment that you got in, you know, like, hey, I'm bored here. I've accomplished this. I have the money to do it now. I'm going to go date and I'm going to go to another city and I'm going to start a business, but I'm going to get out more and I'm going to enjoy myself more. And maybe you have met someone or someone's by the looks of things. But this is like saying that you're, just like there's an Empress here, that you're moving into the Emperor energy. And the Emperor energy is all about performance and having all the qualities of all the kings. You know, the same, a male version of what I described with the queens. And okay, so, and this is opening up a whole new world for you. That's the energy. So again, we're talking about an end of a cycle here and starting a new one. So if there's been something holding you back. Now, like, because this is in a position of your internal forces, it could be that you feel like you've been sabotaging yourself in some way, like with your mind, like telling yourself, oh, you know, maybe whatever you're telling yourself that's limiting you, and now you're not. It's changing. And, you know, this could also represent the people around you doing that, and you've always put up with it, but now it's changing. You're moving, you've been really successful, and you're starting to behave more like an emperor than like a, you know, like an alpha male. And we have justice coming in. So again, this can represent court of law energy, like the law and order coming in, and we have justice here twice now. So there definitely can be something that happened where you are, and we'll just keep going and see. It could be, you know, just take what works for you. We have the anger here. So yeah, and that's the energy I was picking up, like that you're angry about something. And that's part of the reason why you want to leave. Or other people are angry with you for whatever reason. And, you know, it could go either way. But I was picking up that kind of energy. And this is like why I'm saying don't get involved in angry energy right now. It's not worth it for you. And especially with the Sagittarius energy, it can be really easy to you know, get in that energy and really run with it. You don't want to be doing that. We have the Empress energy. Use the passion in the right way. We have the Empress energy, and this is talking about, what the energy I was talking about here now. So this is saying right here that maybe you're raising up to this energy of being an emperor because you're interested. You've met like this can represent, I've met my empress and I'm going after, I want that energy. I want to be, and if I have to be an emperor, then so be it. That's the energy I'm picking up because these are all the opportunities. And who shows up? The empress right here, bang. Maybe you just met an empress and that's like, where you're at. And the grass is greener on the other side. And then you find out it's fake kind of energy. So this is about perception. And so what is this information coming in? It could be something to do with your perception of, or other people's perception of you, or your perception of others. And maybe, it's really weird. Sometimes friends and family can be really weird. Like if you say, oh, I'm moving, and they're like, oh, well, who does he think he is kind of energy. You'd be surprised, like, like if you're moving to a better place for yourself and they're like, what, you're moving away from your family? You're moving away from us? Like, really? Are you doing that? You're going to move away from all your friends just to chase after a woman? Yes, I am. That's your energy. And they're like, oh, she's, a lot of times if you're making a move like that, they'll say, oh, the grass is greener, but then you find out it's fake. But if you cultivate green grass, you can, if you water it and you fertilize it and you cut it and you weed it, you can have green grass and it can be real. We have Virgo energy coming in here, and this is about communication and following this communication. So it's talking about, I feel, there's a lot of analytical critique going on with the Virgo energy, and that can lead to anal criticism. And I feel like that's the kind of energy you feel you're in because of who you're chasing after or wanting to go do that. And I'm just like, the Virgo energy is a young adult that is like kind of getting to that stage where they're thinking about getting married, and like it's more it's older teenager kind of energy. So like Virgo is when you have the papers, like finishing like you're 19, 20, that about 21, ready to move on to start doing your, like, finish the schooling and ready to do the work kind of energy. And I just want to point out, when the horoscope signs come up in my readings, I'm not talking about an actual person. I'm talking about the energy of Virgo. And so I just feel like there's a lot of critique over what you're doing. I don't know where you live, but if it's a small town, like that's sometimes how the energy can be. And we have a blind spot here. So this is talking about, and it's saying, there's a good reason why the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror. And so I feel like this is an energy, like for whatever reason, you had a blind spot about something, or people can't see something about you. Like this can represent the energy where you see something that other people can't see, or other people can see something that you can't see, and I feel like it has something to do with this Empress energy. But hey, if it's getting you to move up to being an emperor, hey, good for you. We have, this is talking about that, like, this is your marriage commitment and partnership. And this is saying it would be a very fulfilling, like ultimate fulfillment for you. So, not everybody wants to have the same lifestyle. And that's what I'm getting, is that maybe you're getting a lot of criticism because people just can't see why you are in this energy. But like, this actually belongs here. And this is you feeling like this year is a real strong year for you. It's 2026. And it's also, you're going to do what you want to do is what's coming up. And, you'll have to take responsibility for it. And so there's dissension here. And with friends like this, who needs enemies? I don't know what this is about, but it feels like really just petty almost. So dissension is when people are trying to divide and conquer kind of energy. And then we have, and look at this, falling in love. Your heart's unfettered. This is about your heart chakra. And this is saying falling and failing in love is a matter of I. And you're actually rising up to Emperor energy. So you can meet this Empress at her vibration. Really, I think this is a funny reading. And then we have the Scorpio, the sexual gladiator energy coming in. Like you're very passionate about this person. And this is talking about wanting, this is your higher education. So it's talking about wanting to unite with her. I definitely feel this is the energy here. Let's see some more here. We have the Magician. And that's on the reward. Like what I'm saying to you is God wouldn't send you a cup of love that was like not, like this is Empress energy. You can't, like that's nothing to sneeze at. That kind of energy. And this is it's saying this is again, God is saying this is an energetic upgrade for you if you make this move. I feel like it's your destiny pretty much almost. And then we have, okay, so there's some energy about a lot of drama around this for whatever reason. But there's justice coming in. So again, remember how I said this energy can be like not like half and half. So there might be a lot of rumors about the Empress energy and everybody's talking and causing a bunch of drama around it. That was the energy I was picking up at the beginning there. But this is talking about, this last card here is talking about someone who's very sexy, and it's not uncommon for the Queen of Wands to be talked about, because and this is talking about your insight is telling you this is what you want. I really feel this energy here is representing the qualities that you see in this Empress, and they're perfect for you and maybe not for everybody else, but that's good, because you don't want everybody interested in your partner in that way. And I don't know how I got this deck all mixed up here. So the need to be right, I feel like beyond a doubt. And I'm really glad to see that this is this is a really good reading. Who cares what people, I mean, they'll get over it, right? It is what it is. You have to. Because this is saying that like the pentacles don't just represent money, they represent lifestyle. And, I feel like this is really strong for you. As long as you keep your emotions in check and you check the information out and take your time to get to know someone, But I don't feel like you're just moving. Like if you're moving, planning to move on, it's not just for love. It's also because you have a plan of maybe expanding your business or something. That kind of energy. Well, this has been a good reading. It's just been nice and easy. Like and comment if you've enjoyed it as well. Consider subscribing to my channel if you resonate. And I will be back again with another reading. I'm going to do a reading about the energy of the new moon coming in after these ones are done. Bye for now, Sagittarius. Sorry, Stella, I have to wake you up.